Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show. Obviously, I'm back again on the channel. So it's been quite a while, 11 days without any content. Obviously, it's been the international break. And, with how Rob Edwards come about in his Middlesbrough, post match, we thought we'd sort of leave it. 'Cause it sounded like he was on the way out, but obviously we've kept him for now. Will that continue? I don't know. It all depends on how we play. But we will get into a segment on Rob Edwards a bit later on after we've done the whole preview. And we're only going to breeze past the Middlesbrough game because for me, no one deserved a man of the match in that game. And yeah, it was just a disgusting performance, to be honest. Feel sorry for everyone that went to it, to be honest. But yeah, first of all, Dad, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the weekend's game.
Yeah, definitely. I've missed, I've had some good battles with Hull over the years. I remember when they picked us to win the League Two title, I think it was, back in the day. But yeah, both teams are in similar positions, both on the pitch and off the pitch. They've got Ryan Giles there, who obviously didn't work out for us. Dre May as well, who we didn't get back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be a very interesting one because, I feel like whoever loses this game, the manager's going to go get the job. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll get into that a bit more later on in the stream. But yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, we'll start off with the Middlesbrough game. So we'll just do a recap. Like I say, the points, it didn't matter either because we both thought we'd get a draw at least, but obviously weren't to be. But I mean, again, sometimes you can look at the lineup and you can underestimate it and it works. But obviously in this game, it didn't work at all. A lot of surprises in this game for me. When it comes to the lineup, obviously Woodrow starting being one of them. It's crazy how he can just go in, but Taylor just don't get a chance whatsoever. And Woodrow, anytime he started for me, he's not done anything. I remember last season he had that great opportunity against Man United when Elijah got injured in the warm up to come on and make an impact and try and warrant and start going forward. But he was just terrible, in that game. He didn't do anything in this game. But again, he weren't the only poor player, but still, I don't know how he's starting. And then obviously we had Mo Kraus in midfield. What is that all about? I mean, looking at the lineup, especially looking at it back, there's no surprise we conceded 5 goals because the 3 that we played in midfield are all predominantly attacking midfielders. Yes, Baptiste can do a bit of both, but it just weren't a good selection for me. And I get it, you've got to do a quick turnaround and stuff, but either way, at the end of the day, they're professional footballers. Do you know what I mean? Like they should be able to handle it realistically, especially, the sense of you don't even play one of the more defensive minded midfielders away. What are you doing? When we play away, I want to see both of them playing, if I'm going to be honest. I know a few people say about Nakamba, he's still not up to scratch or whatever, but at the same time, he's been out on international break now, so he's had more minutes in the legs, whether you think he should have been out there or not, he has. So, when we play away from home, we need more cover, especially if we're going to play 2 in midfield. And just looking at that lineup, everywhere else was fine, especially defensively. I remember even in the chat, people on the watch along were saying, that's the best defensive lineup we've probably actually gone with because everyone's playing where they want to play ideally. Obviously, we didn't have Doughty, but obviously Bell, was playing there. He could play anywhere across the left centre back or the left wing back. Hashioka playing in his actual position. You had McGuinness, Mengi, and Holmes. So, there was no complaints from that end. But yeah, I just didn't think Woodrow should have started. And the midfield was too exploited. I wouldn't say it's a weak midfield. It's a good midfield, but, you need cover there if you're going to do that. You need to put like Nakamba or Kraus there, alongside him because it's too open. Like I say, they're all attacking minded midfielders. Yes, like I say, Baptiste can do a bit of both, but he's more attacking minded. Look at the games where he has played. He's come on and even the game before that, he come on in the cam role, didn't he? So you look at it like that. You want to use him more. He's very good at crossing the ball into the box, which is more of a attacking minded trait. He's not one that's known for doing the dirty work essentially. So very surprised about that lineup, to be honest. I was frustrated at the time with that lineup, and I weren't really confident, to be fair, going into it after seeing that. But yeah, I mean, were there telling signs there, Dad, in your opinion, when you saw the lineup?
A little bit, because we dropped Kraus, put Woodrow on. We've still got Morris, Taylor. It's a bit weird. Midfield, I like Baptiste. I think he's underestimated by people. Walsh, but again, it's that defensive mindset. I can see why Chong started, Bell started on the left, and the defense really. Do you know what I mean? But we just weren't there. You should have started with. It's just too. He changes things around too much, and puts. As soon as he realised that we was losing,
he sort of panicked.
Yeah. Well, and then he brought Kraus on. He took Woodrow off. Put Moses on instead of Bell, which I didn't really agree with. Moses was shit when he come on as well. Clark come on, he done all right, scored a goal, nice goal, but assist from Kraus, who should have been starting in the first place. And Cambar, defensively, it was too late. He should have started with that team. It goes back to when he put Izzy Brown. Why do I always say that? Brown in left back or right back, sorry.
Right wing back away at Brentford, and then he went up front and scored that game.
Yeah, Jacob Brown up front, and and again, he should have been starting this game instead of Woodrow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or instead of Woodrow, yeah, definitely. Just he makes these weird choices now. It's a free game week and this, that, and the other. But look at the team that Middlesbrough still put out. And I'm sure they must changes as well. Do you know what I'm saying? He just chops and changes it too much. And I'll tell you what the problem is. He's changed it. He's tried to change it too much in too short of a time. And it's backfired. Right? Because when he took over from Nathan Jones, he said they've already got a great spirit. They know how they're working. I don't really need to do too much. And he didn't really, did he? He brought in Nakamba, and it worked because, when he was in the midfield, he was just set there to help the defenders out.
Deal with anything that comes forward, yeah.
In the Premier League, we still went on with that same mentality that we built up with Nathan Jones and John Still, let's be honest. And that's really what I think more than anything kept us in the Premier League. I think it was easier for Rob Edwards then, but then you saw certain decisions, certain cracks starting to show, especially in the second half of the season. It went tits up, let's be honest. I know we had all the injuries and that, but, the Bournemouth game, the Sheffield United game, where, really important to get them points against a team that was terrible. And we was at home. And we played like we did against Arsenal at home, Liverpool at home, Newcastle at home, Palace at home. Do you know what I mean? I can go on. And it just started, and we started leaking goals. Pre-season, I said the same thing to you, leaking goals. There's something, and it's just continued. We've papered over the cracks a couple of times because we have got that quality in the squad. And that's what we're doing. We'll win a game like we did Watford. Then, what was the result after that? We lost straight away, didn't we?
Yeah, it was the Sunderland game, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? 2-1 defeat.
Good performance, but
good performance. But
defensively, not good.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? Like you say, we just haven't been steady, at the back.
When we win a game, or we just, it's one step forward, 5 to 10 steps back, where it shouldn't be like that, and that's the problem, and that is massive. I'll just quickly talk about the game. We start first half hour, we look like a team. We look good. We look like everything was passing it around nicely. As soon as they scored, and that's it. It is like we were in the Premier League again. because we was like that a little bit. But in the Premier League, you can expect that a little bit. You're playing certain teams, you go 1-0 down, you know it's going to be a struggle, but you're still trying to fight. You see, we're not.
No, the heads drop. We've got losing mentality,
and it's on me. It's on the whole club. Let's be honest. I'm very surprised that we've gone backwards so much. And I can see the patience. I understand the patience. I do think Rob Edwards deserves the time. And I've always said to you, as soon as we're 4 points, stuck inside the relegation zone or something like that, that's when they'll pull the trigger. I think they're trying to give him as much time. I just think that you can see his head's like all over the place, and has been for a couple of months. Fair play to him for sticking by him in that respect, because a lot of teams would just go, see you later. And I see people moaning. I've moaned a little bit myself. He's got to go. Surely he's got to go. But then, as the club makes their decisions, I'm thinking about it more and accepting it. It's not disaster. We're not going to go up. No guarantee to go up. We will stay in the league because they will pull the trigger at some point, and we have got a good enough squad to stay at 100%. So we just got to see what happens. Simple as that. See what they can tolerate. Like I said, the table will dictate what happens. As we're in danger of being in a relegation fight, because it has happened with teams that have come down from the Premier League. They've gone down. Sunderland, no, not Sunderland. I don't know about Sunderland. Possibly, Wolves, Southampton. It happened to. But we've got the cash, we've got the squad, we've got the the natural footballing nous, which we've relied on for a long time. That's not going to go. So we will be back at some point. But it's just interesting. I take it as it is. Like I've as I've supported Luton for a long time, so I've seen a lot worse than this. Performances, I've seen similar where we are getting like that 5-1. They said that's the first time that Middlesbrough have beat us since 94 or 95 or whatever it was. I remember that as well. So, but we'll be back.
Yeah, no, I hope so. And
we can quickly talk about some of the form, the Morris situation. I've seen certain people going in on him because he got frustrated and fouled someone, got a yellow card. He doesn't normally do that very often, and then he was shouting at his teammates. Yeah, damn right. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he should have been.
He should have started anyway.
Captain.
I'd have rather start him over Elijah. And again, I love Elijah, but I think Elijah needs. Obviously, we'll get into our lineups and stuff later, but I think Elijah needs what Morris had last season and this season, in the sense of he needs to be dropped or rested, and then we know he's a confidence player. And that game where he come on, I can't remember who it was. It was a midweek game. Was it Cardiff? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? He come on in that game and he done really well. And he'll have that urgency and determination to do well and try and warrant and start back, because I think the way Brown's playing, he's making an impact whether he's starting or not starting. And Morris is the captain. So that's just what I want.
Just thinking like against Middlesbrough as well, we're a good side. And you're like, we'll put Woodrow up front. Honestly, it's like he's trying to get the sack, mate. Sometimes it is.
No, generally, no. I hear what you're saying. It's like even when we went to Sheffield United, why is Clark coming up front? He's not even a tall player.
Who have done shit in the past, but normally it's like because they're just. It's just like it's like we do on FIFA. Oh, fuck it, thingy, I'll just bang him on. Like, do you know what I mean? Honestly, and the backroom staff as well, they've got to be taking some accountability. Because normally you have good people around you and they support you. Nathan Jones always had very good backroom staff around him, and you could see the effect. Even the ones that we recruit, Sheehan, It's Cuthbert, I think, it's gone now. Like, just things like that, man. I think some shit has gone to certain people's heads. That's what I think. And it's not a necessary. It's more of I don't know. It's the way Rob Edwards is himself. I think the problem is too much of a nice guy.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I've been saying that myself.
But yeah, that's it. That's done. Let's forget that game. It was a good goal. What we scored, they scored some excellent goals, but it was just too easy. It was ridiculous.
Way too easy.
But Clark, great goal. He can get in there. We know we criticise him and this, that, and the other, but we do feel like he's one of them players that should be telling maybe the other team. I know he gets played out of position and that. He ain't done too bad considering, let's be honest, but he's put in defensively, he's shit. You know what I mean? So putting him in that midfield position, it's just no.
Yeah, I have to agree. No, I have to agree. It's like I say, you never know what you're going to get when Clark plays there, do you? He can be very hit and miss. He has had really good games there, but again, they haven't been recent games. They've been games a while ago. Probably last time we were in the Championship, I remember a lot of games I went to, and he'd win headers, and you're like, how's he done that? He's not even that tall. But going forward, we've said it. Obviously that's not quite here at the moment. It's quickly gone sorts it out, but we've said it in the sense of he's one of them players where we thought he'd be a bit of a makeshift player like Ruddock has been this season. Especially the likes of Baptiste coming in, Walsh. I thought Walsh would play a lot more, not necessarily start, but just come on more. Obviously Kraus as well, and players like that. But Clark has still played a lot. I mean, obviously he won't be available tomorrow, which for me, I'll be honest, he's a blessing in disguise because he's not been terrible, but again, he just like my dad said, defensively he's not that guy. I want to see him if he plays. I want to see him in that cam role, but he's not starting over Chong for me. So that's coming on at this moment in time. So yeah, man. I mean, let's go through some comments. Shout out to Paul. He said this before we went live. Good evening, lads. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you are well. Shout out to Exile Hatter as well. Evening. Big up to yourself, mate. He also says you can have the best defence ever, but if you don't have any defensive cover in midfield, you're destined to fail. Exactly. And that's the thing about football, isn't it? The midfield is the key part of the pitch, in my opinion, because that's where everything runs. Do you know what I mean? And for us, I don't mind the formation we play right now. I just don't like the two in midfield, unless you're going to put Nakamba and Kraus there away from home. I don't mind at home playing like Baptiste and Kraus, for example. But I think away, we just need more cover, especially with how poor we've been away. If we had them two, starting in that Coventry game, for example, I don't think we'd have lost that game. So that's just my thoughts on it. Shout out to Glimpse in the chat. How long does Walter get? Yeah, we're getting to the whole game in a minute. Thank you very much. The super chat. 20 quid, Jeez, that's actually money.
99. I'll send you the other penny if you want.
Yeah, it's just the way it is on YouTube. You can't do it with the exact number. But no, thank you for that. I used
to do it quite a lot, didn't I? And then I stopped doing it because I thought, I don't, it's easy for me to do it. Like, I'd rather see it come from your actual fans rather than your dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. Super sticker. I haven't got one of them in a while. But yeah, big up because they're different super chats and stuff. Super chats you can put messages on.
Oh yeah. Check the new flag in the background.
Oh, you've just noticed it. Yeah, he's just noticed it now. We're 20 minutes in. We were live beforehand, and he's just noticed it. Dad got me it for my birthday. Come on, I'll put that in the background now. Change it up a little bit, change it up a little bit, how it is. But yeah, let's get into the whole game. So we're back at home tomorrow after the international break, and we take on Hull. Now, flipping hell, there couldn't be on paper anyway, there couldn't be an even more evenly matched game. We're literally both on the same points. We literally both, pressure on our managers. They are above us, but that's because they got better goal difference. But yeah, I mean, like we said, first half of last season, we done decent. We gave it a go, especially in the top league. Hull obviously just missed out on the playoffs last year. You would probably expect them to get in there, based on their squad last season. They had, Carvalho, some wicked players, really, for them. So fair play, but they didn't quite get in there. They did give it a go. So, but this year, I mean, Hull had a poor pre-season as well. Obviously, I've talked to Lewis a lot, who is a Hull fan, as you know. And they had a poor pre-season. They were getting battered in games, and he was worried even then. And again, people don't always take pre-season into account, but we had our worries, Dad, about pre-season for us. Hull it's been the same. Yes, they played, I think, Galatasaray in one of the games who've got some quality players, but still, it was like 5-0 or something.
Yeah. I just think right there, like I think that's a myth. Like ignore, don't worry about pre-season. I think back in the day, yeah, but I think now, I think it does tell a lot. I remember also when we were in League Two, we played Aston Villa in a friendly, and I think we absolutely slapped them like 8-2 or something. We battered them. And we had a really good pre-season a few times under Nathan Jones. And I remember when we were in League Two, the first game of the season, we slapped up Yeovil 8-2. It was unreal. And we just looked way too good for that division. And obviously, we ended up finishing second. Some people were like, oh, he bottled a title on that. But we had a great season. Accrington, their manager, done really well. They pipped us at the post. But I think we probably had the better season because we absolutely annihilated some teams. 7-1. Like they were a conference team, and then that's hence when we did get promoted, we won the league, the next league up. Do you know what I mean? That's because we were building, and I think now we're not. You should be still building for the Premier League. I know our philosophy on transfers and that, and I get it, and Baptiste, Walsh, they are good players, but real Premier League quality, we haven't really. Yes, we've maintained players that we've got, but going forward, Elijah, excellent player, but I don't think he's ever going to be Premier League quality. Morris, the same, Woodrow.
Yeah, Woodrow.
McGuinness, yes. Mengi, yes. Kaminsky, yes. But
the thing is, I would say Elijah and Morris can. However, they need someone with them, like with more experience, to be able to play in the Prem. If we're basing it on that side, not by themselves, I don't think they could do it by themselves. Yes, Morris got 11 goals last year. Elijah got 10, but I think they need someone with a bit more experience alongside him.
I think if we don't spend in January,
that's worrying.
Then, the fact is that most of the money that we got from the Premier League is going on the stadium, and that's what it will be, because that's what it does seem. I know people at the moment, but they took a gamble probably on the squad that we've got and the players that we did bring in to be at least competing for a playoff spot, and that's what they should be doing. Let's be honest. That's not happening, so it's easy now. But if they still want that ambition, then you've got to reinforce in January. If you're just going to settle for it and it is what it is, I'm fine. The stadium is important. As long as we maintain championship status, it's fine. It's hard to take, yeah, but it's football and it's Luton Town.
I could tolerate a rebuild season. It's just the fact that we're fighting relegation. Like, that's just not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I could accept like a mid-table. We're rebuilding, which we could still get mid-table.
We probably will.
But I'm not going to get all giddy if we win tomorrow, because we need to follow that up, and we've got Leeds away after that.
Yeah, but we're not on current.
I can't see us beating Leeds. I'll be honest.
We're not getting anything. Even if we beat Hull, unless we smash Hull, then I think that we could get a result at Leeds. But if we beat them, like just
and then Norwich, we'll be at Norwich.
We will be, yeah. And Norwich are a good side. I've always liked.
I mean, I guess the only obviously you won't get into it too much, but the only potential positive with that Norwich game is the fact that they finally lost at home. Maybe, after a year.
And their away records. Well, our away records not too. Yeah.
That's the only positive I can think of. But then again, look at their strikers. They've got signs absolutely firing. So it's worrying, man. It is worrying. And they are an established top-end championship team.
Exactly. They've been in and around, but they're not. So it helps sometimes if you don't get promotion, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? If you have a couple of seasons in the championship,
yeah,
you know your level more, and you know what you need to do to step up, and it can help. Look at Millwall, for instance. They were struggling at the beginning of the season. They've beat Leeds, Burnley. They've got some good results. They've also got a good manager. They're tough. They're fighting how we should be fighting, and that's what's grinding out the results. And they're in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, massive. Yeah, I said it yesterday on a TikTok live. Massive credit to Millwall actually, because the fact that they beat Burnley and Leeds back to back at home without even conceding, without even conceding as well. Like, I mean, fair play to them.
And we beat them.
I remember we beat them. No, Watford were beating them. As a fan cam Mike did, and he was like, Millwall must be like awful if we're beating them.
We're not doing that. That's the key thing.
No, and that's the worrying thing.
Without a manager, managed to do it.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go through some more comments. Shout out to Geordie in the chat. Hawala lads, big up to yourself, mate. What's up, Hatters? Yeah, we're all good, mate. Hope you're well. You guys should have won a lot of games last season in the Prem. Yeah, there was a lot of games in it, Dad, where we thought we should have at least, maybe not won, but at least got something out of it. But our problem was in a lot of games.
United, Newcastle, at their ground.
We were unlucky against you guys away. I mean, the home game we won, so we can't say anything. But the away game, we were. I still took the draw at the time, because to get a draw. I mean, I said a draw, we'd get a draw going into that anyway. But it was a bit annoying. And that referee, by the way, that we had in that game, we will have him tomorrow. So, that's going to be interesting. That's the last time we had him when we played Newcastle away. So, yeah, remember that Arsenal game? That was gutting. I know that was against Arsenal. That was gutting. Obviously, I had a Narshe watching it with me. Obviously, if you know Narshe, he don't really violate. He actually respects Luton. But that was heartbreak, man. That was heartbreak. But yeah, it's one end. You'll end up around 12th to 17th. Well, I'm not 17th. 12th, yeah, I probably would take that nowadays, to be fair. Mid-table after this shower of shite, I guess. It's the best way to put it. Yeah, again, there's not a lot of time. Yeah, I don't like that. It's back-to-back away games. I don't like that against the teams that we're playing as well. But we have to deal with it. It is what it is. It is what it is, but it is worrying. Yeah, Millwall are doing really good at the moment, mate. I watched their game against Burnley. I didn't watch the Leeds one, but I watched one against Burnley. They were very, very good, actually. So, yeah. But, yeah, going back to the whole game, like I say, it's a very interesting game because we're literally the same team right now. Same points, pressure on both our managers. And, yeah, we're both in a relegation battle at this moment in time. But, yeah, going into insight, like we always do. So, Luton Town are unbeaten across their last 5 league games against Hull, which is obviously good. Winning 4, drawing 1, keeping 4 clean sheets during that stint. Hull City have lost just 1 of their last 5 away league games against Luton. Winning 3, drawing 1. With each of those victories seeing the Tigers scored 2+ goals in the process. Luton Town have lost 20 league games in 2024. The most in the calendar year since they lost 21 games back in 2015. So I can't lie, guys. If this continues, that record is going to be broken. I'm not going to lie. Hull were winless in the last 7 league games, drawing 3, losing 4, losing each of the last 2 games. The Tigers haven't lost 3 in a row since a run of 5 in August/September 2022. And then I don't even know why this stat's on here because the guy's not even going to be able to play. But Alfie Doughty has created the most chances in the Championship season, 45 and 69 successful crosses, 39 more than anyone else. You wouldn't think that, would you? With the way we're playing, you really wouldn't. But yeah, that's that when it comes to that. A bit more on Hull going into it. So far this season, Hull have won 3, drawn 6, and lost 6 in the Championship. Disappointing compared to their 7th place finish last season. Before the international break, they took a 2-1 defeat to West Brom, with their only goals scored by recent signing João Pedro. Last time we met, I mean, it's probably no point talking about this game. It was 0-0. It's final game of the season. We already confirmed playoffs. Hull mid-table, nothing to play for. So that's why it was 0-0, really. But yeah, like I say, good record against Hull. Obviously, you've beat them in the last 4. In the last 5 meetings, we've won 4 and drawn 1. Keeping 4 clean sheets in the process. Like I say, referee Thomas Bramall. Last time we had him was when we played Newcastle last year, where he handed out 4 yellow cards. Obviously, there was that controversy on the last goal as well that Newcastle scored. Should it have stood? I don't think it should have. Personally, I think it was a foul on Barkley. I'll stand by that to this day. So yeah, it's one of them. But if you are going to the game, which I am, it's going to be very interesting because Lamine Fanny, right, introducing him, mate, at 2:45 at the grounds. You know, he's going to have his moment like Hashioka did last season against Brighton, I believe it was anyway. So yeah, I'll be there, and I'll be gassed to see him. To be honest, if I'm going to be honest, I mean his last game for his previous club, he got 3 assists in 1 game. So we definitely need him at the moment, probably. And yeah, 20 years old. I mean, coming in, he's probably not going to start off with, but I don't want to see it be one of them situations where we just loan him out, like use him. Do you know what I mean? Like the team he's playing for, they're decent. Do you know what I mean? They are a decent team. AIK, they're all right. Been in Europe a few times. I think there might be this season. So use him, man. Use him and stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be good to see him. And shame we can't use him till January. I'd love to use him now, to be honest.
Who's he played for?
Who was it? AIK, I believe it was. AIK, a Swedish team, I believe they're from. Yeah, Swedish club. Yeah, hat trick as assists in the victory, their last victory. That also secured European football for next season, by the way. So, yeah, man, he's good from what I see. I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched him constantly, but from what I've seen, it's good. But the academy are playing right now. They're losing. Oh God, yeah, they are getting. What is it with Burnley? What is it with when we play Burnley, Dad? Right, the youth team are playing Burnley, right? Johnson's featuring in that, by the way, and we're 4-0 down. We're 4-0 down, mate. Oh, mate. I mean, Burnley always score 4 against us nowadays. That's 3 times this season they've done that.
Right, listen, on that Dabo, because that's what he's going to call himself when he plays for us. He's outplayed. Sorry?
Carry on.
He, he's got 20 appearances, 3 assists. He's pretty much got 7s every game he's played or above. So I'm looking forward to him. He's only 20. I think he's a Premier League player, mate. And again, in midfield, you've got to have 3-5-2, mate. You've got to have 3 central midfielders, 2 wingers, and just 2 up front. Forget the cam. Because where's he going to fit in?
Yeah, it's very rare, isn't it? Very rare. Well, I mean, it's a weird one because on transfer market, even though he gets all these assists, it says he's more of a defensive. It says it's a weird one though because on transfer market it says his main position is defensive midfielder. It's weird, but like we say, he gets all these assists and scores. So
really,
yeah. I mean, I do think going forward we need another CDM because I don't know with Nakamba at the moment going forward. I'll be honest. And Kraus, if we continue how we are, we ain't getting in permanently, are we? So we definitely need to get another CDM. I feel, especially if a lot of people saying, "Oh, Nakamba can't do it at the moment," and stuff, or he's not fully fit, and all this. I mean, he's gone out on international break now, so he should be okay.
He is fit. It's just he's not he's not starting. Really.
No. It's one of them. But yeah, looking forward to that. Like I say, I'll be in my seat by then. Hopefully, you know what I'm like. But yeah, I should be there to I'll get that on the vlog as well. And everything like that. But yeah, so like I say, that's all of that when it comes to the whole game. Obviously, we said about how we're feeling a bit earlier on and going into it. So right now we're just getting to the lineups that we will go with in this game. Do get in your score predictions as well. Obviously, we'll get into that. A few people have now, or we'll go through them at the end. But yeah, man, I mean, it's an interesting one when it comes to the lineups because, availability on players. I'll go through it. So Doughty's out probably until before the new year, which is not great to hear. But again, could it be a blessing in disguise in the sense of, yes, he creates all these chances, but we are heavily reliant on him. It gives someone else an opportunity to take set pieces and other players, which I do feel can be a blessing. And then hopefully when he comes back, you've got more options to take set pieces. Baptiste being the second option, I would say at this moment in time. Burke's back, which is positive. That's great to hear. He done really well actually before he got injured. Again, my only worry of Burke is managing him. I don't think he's played 8 games on the trot for Luton. So that's my only worry. And then Nakamba, there's a decision to make, obviously, after playing with Zimbabwe. I think he'll be okay, whether that's on the bench or not. I think he'll be available in some way. And then obviously Klott's suspended, which again, I think is a blessing in disguise, I'll be honest. So, yeah, that's all of that when it comes to it. As for our lineups going into the game, based on all of that, we've gone with the same. We've gone with the same lineup going into this game. So, Kaminsky in goal, again, goes without saying, one position we can't moan about. The back three, we have both put Burke straight back in. The reason why for me is, and I think you're the same on it, Dad, is because when you compare him and Mengi, Burke's been on better form. On the recent games that they've both played.
In that position, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And he's really stood out for me in a lot of games. I've said it to you. I've said it on streams. He's really looked like, we knew he's good anyway, but he's just proper shown another level for me when he's come back in. So yeah, that's why I go with Burke. McGuinness obviously did play a full 90 minutes against England. That was good to see. I don't think he was terrible, to be fair. I thought in the first half he was quite good. Second half, obviously, there was that moment he kept their who was it onside? I can't remember. Gallagher, I think it was. But overall, he done decent. In that game, I thought in the first half, without being biased, he was the best defender for Ireland.
Yeah, he was comfortable. He wasn't phased by them players.
I thought he dealt with Harry Kane pretty well as well at times. I mean, it's not hard because the guy drops deep, but still. Then Holmes, again, we've said it, you sign him, you've been looking at him for years. It's a great opportunity to use him in this game. I feel, he's done all right in the recent games. Yes, he had that moment against Watford where he nearly scored an own goal, but predominantly he's done decent. And then obviously Hashioka, right wing back, goes without saying. Did play for Japan, by the way. I don't think he started the second game, but he played the first game. Did say he was in left centre back, but I don't believe that. It's flash scores anyway. They lie half the time. But yeah, good to see that he was playing there. He witnessed wins, whether he was on the pitch or not. He got wins as well with Japan both games, so that was good. He'll have a lot of confidence. Bell, my only worry of Bell, I would start him obviously, but my only worry is he's played a full 90 minutes back to back for Jamaica again. And the last time that happened, obviously he got injured. So, touch wood, that don't happen again. But again, Doughty's out, so who else are you going to go with on that left side?
Potentially.
Yeah, he could put Moses there, but I agree with you. I don't think he was great last game. And I feel use Moses as an impact player like we did against Plymouth, for example. for now. And then midfield, Baptiste and Kraus. Kraus definitely has to be in. Baptiste, I agree with you. I think he's got a lot of criticism that he don't really deserve Baptiste. I mean, when he's come on in games, he's done well for me. You know, especially the Sheffield United game, he was one of the positives. The game where he come on as a cam, it was Cardiff, come on and done well. You know, so give him a go. And set pieces, you know, that's another thing. He will be that guy to take the set pieces, I feel. Especially with them players that we've gone with there. Chong as the cam, done really well last couple of games, to be fair to him. You know, he's massively stepped up. Obviously scored it, you know, recently as well. Done really well against Coventry. You know, one of the positives in that game. And then Brown and Morris. I mean, Morris, it goes back to what I said earlier, captain. And then Brown, obviously, you know, it's one of them where he's made an impact, like I say, whether he started or not started. So I'd drop Elijah, I'd give him a rest and bring him on to hurry the whole defence and try and cause issues if it needs to be at that, you know, moment in the game where we need to get a goal or something. So, yeah, that's what I'll go with when it comes to that. So we agree on the lineup, Dud. Anything else you want to add on that?
Nah, that's it. We've got a strong bench. Elijah, Walsh.
Hopefully Anderson. I know he's coming back or he's closer.
Mengi, Nakamba. You know what I mean? So the strikers, we know to deal with them, but we've still got Elijah as well. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You know, that does get us out of games. We've got a really good core of the squad, especially when it comes to depth. Moses, like you say, you know, that's what got us out of that Sheffield Wednesday game. Let's just be totally honest, the squad depth. So that's one positive that we do have, especially in this game over Hull, because I know Hull have got a lot of key injuries. And again, yes, you know, we got a few out as well. But, you know, when it comes to up front, you know, they're not on the level of our strikers. I'm sorry, they're not. So, yeah, that's that when it comes to that. But, yeah, after saying all of that, obviously a lot of people put theirs in. We'll get into them in a second. Score prediction, Dad. How are you feeling going into this game then after everything that's been said?
I think it'll be another game. We've had that break. We are a better team. We've got a better squad. We are at home. I think we'll start well. We have got the quality. So I was going to say 1-0, but I've upped it. So I'm going to say a 2-0 Luton win.
Nice clean sheet as well. I mean, it's possible. We did it against Cardiff, so it is possible. As for me, unfortunately, I think it's going to be one of them games because there's pressure on both our managers. I think we're going to cancel each other out and go for a 0-0. But again, last time I said draw at home anyway, we ended up winning, which is obviously Cardiff. So hopefully I'm proven wrong. But yeah, that's my prediction, 0-0. I mean, it was a 0-0 last time we played, but again, that was different circumstances. You know, obviously we already confirmed playoffs and they already, you know, they were mid-table, they had nothing to play for. So it's one of them, but I just think because pressure on both the manager, I think it's going to be frustrating. What I will say, and this is no disrespect to Hull, this is just because, you know, our expectations, I will be disappointed if we lose this game. Like, obviously I'm disappointed if we lose any game. But some games you could, like, I know it sounds a bit mad, but some games you can accept, like playing Burnley away, for example. But like, I'll be frustrated, man. And again, I know overall they've got a decent record at home against us, but not in recent years. You know, I've been to a lot of them games or watched a lot of them games. Even at their ground, we do well. You know, recently anyway, 3-1 win. You know, when James Bree scored a free kick at home, Dad, 1-0. We was at that game. You know, Elijah. And again, it's a weird one with Hull because I feel any time we play Hull, there's pressure on their manager. I remember when we beat them 2-0, I think it was away. Their manager got sacked on that day or something, you know, before the kickoff. There was pressure on Grant McCann. I think that's his name anyway, when we beat them 1-0. Do you remember they were proper booing him and stuff? And there's pressure on this manager as well. So I just think we're going to cancel each other out, though. I was thinking 1-0 Luton, like you, Dad. You know, like a Elijah or Morris goal, but dropping things all over the place. But yeah, I'll say 0-0, unfortunately, which is not the best of results going into that Leeds game, let's be honest. But yeah, let's go through comments and predictions. Do get in your goal scorers as well. We'll do ours. Shout out to Jordan in the chat. He says, "Hey, bro, good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you're well." So yeah, there we go with that. Yeah, they'll probably beat us now. 1-1 draw. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, they will not. Even if they do it, they will not do it. And the reason why they won't do it is because they've had money. We haven't had money to do it with. And they have.
They
And I
won't.
don't think
They
will
won't.
anyway.
They won't.
I don't think they will anyway. I think
Championship, I think, but they won't be going up to the Premier League, mate.
No, I don't think so.
Not straight away.
I'll be honest. They could probably make themselves in a couple of years like an established. Sorry, I keep dropping stuff. Championship team in a couple of years, but either way, if they do it, no, not for me because they've had money. We didn't have money to do it with. So that's why I won't say that. Good to see Jackie in the chat. 2-1 wishful thinking. Come on, you has. I mean, Jackie, we always say you're good at these predictions, so hopefully. I think Rob needs to drop Kaminsky. Jeez, no, he's sounding like Darth Vader out here. Shout out to Darth Vader, by the way, but he sounded like him, Tim Krul, I mean, Tim Krul's good for the experience, don't get me wrong, but I mean, the last couple of games...
Kaminsky's
the guy.
He's made if we had a better fucking defence.
I feel sorry for him, like, every game. Unless we win.
Yeah, no, definitely not, man.
Nah. Oh, dear. How many bevies you had, mate? No,
You had more than me, I reckon.
2-0. Okay, same as you, Dad. Morris and Chong. Yeah, nice. Good combo. Good to see Will in the chat, obviously from TikTok. It says, I'm going with my prediction earlier. 2-1 Luton Uptown. Yeah, nice. Goal scorers, Dad?
I'm going to go Morris and Kraus.
Nice. I ain't got any goal scorers, have I? I said 0-0, so I haven't even got a whole City goal scorer. Does someone else want to do their prediction?
Why did you say it like that?
Well, you do, don't you?
Oh, yeah, 2-1.
2-1 Luton, there you go.
2-1 from the mystery guest.
The mystery guest.
I can come say hello.
Who was in the background on the Middlesbrough game.
Hi,
I will be at the game with doing the fan cams tomorrow. So, yeah, man. Who do you reckon's going to score? He's starting to... Morris. Morris and Elijah. There you go. You've been saying that to me all week. So
I have actually been saying that.
And by the way, guys, she actually got the Cardiff game right. We said 1-0, and it was. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, man. Morris will be playing. There was speculation they wouldn't, but because he got one in the League Cup, it doesn't count.
That's what I believe anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's not playing. Park won't be playing, but Morris will be. Or he'd be available anyway, whether he will start. I mean, he didn't start last game, which was crazy, but yeah, he'll be available, unlike Clark. So yeah, man. But Dad, any final things you want to say before we? No, actually, no. Sorry. There's one thing I did want to say. I did want to say that on Rob Edwards actually. Obviously, it says in the title, how long do we give him? I mean, how long does he get? Do you reckon, Dad?
Like I've said before. If we're in danger in the relegation spaces, then it'll be gone. I don't think it's on who we play and this, that, and the other. I think it's on where we are. And these 3 games are the ultimate games. They will decide his future. Finally, they will, 100%. So if we win today, we lose against Leeds. Come on, we can't really be expecting to beat Leeds anyway. Norwich, you want a good performance. If you get battered against them 2 teams, then it's 100% game over. And if it's not, then I want to know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So let's see, because they are tough games. But if you get the performances, Leeds, if we lose 2-1, but we play really well, you got to accept that, especially with beat Hull, yeah. Norwich, then you've just got these away games. You can't get battered. You have to be narrow. You have to still be performing, and it will come down, like I said to you, the points. If we're 3, 4, 5 points stuck inside the relegation zone, nearly halfway through the season, they will pull the plug. Simple as that. So let's enjoy it. Let's still, carry on cheering. I think we should be beating them. I think we will beat them. Let's see what the performance is like. Let's see if we've come close to what we were performing like last season, particularly against Watford. But other than that, not at all. Like, and downright embarrassing. I've seen people calling out Morris for like going mad at his players and that, but good, because that's what he would be doing. Like, we haven't seen that.
Exactly. I like to see it personally, because
when Clark's been the
he
captain,
should be doing that. Yeah.
And I do think sometimes the captain also needs to be not a great character, but needs to be a real quality player. Do you know what I mean? That's experienced it, and that you look in other teams, they've got that. Clark, he's done well, but he's not like, there's plenty of players who are better than him. Whereas before he ain't really had that. He's been one of the standout players. So, you need someone like Barkley, for instance, last season. If possible, I think we would have made him captain. I would have made him captain. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Look how he played. Unreal, absolute quality, absolute. You can't deny that. Like, he put in his skill, his knowledge, everything for us. He done it. He started off a little bit slow. He was like, oh, fuck. But then he just sorted it out, and then he gave up near the end of the season because he could see that everyone else was fucking. It just weren't working. Let's be honest. And we knew that he was going the last game, and said, of course he's going to be going. He deserves to go after that performance. He does.
100%.
I think that's the.
And now look what he's doing at Villa. He's starting to.
Yeah, he's had a few games of that. They probably said to him, "Look, you're not going to be our starter. You know what I mean? Unless you're like proper banging it." But he's played in the Champions League. He's doing all right now. I've watched him
score as well a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I watched him when he come on and in one game. He was brilliant. It was all over like he was for us. And he was getting cheers every time he touched the ball and that. And then they were like, man of the match or whatever. I was like, nah, what are you talking about? They gave it to someone else. And we haven't got that. I've talked before in the past about Kevin Nichols.
He's actually up there.
And we've had a few over the years. Steve Howard. We haven't. That's what we're lacking. We thought we had it, but it just seemed to have disappeared. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was watching the other day. Obviously, we'll remember it, that the Blackpool away performance under Nathan Jones, like that fight and determination defensively to go on and win that game, because Blackpool did put a lot of pressure on us in that second half. Where is that sort of fight? We just we concede a goal and the heads drop. We have to be honest. We have a losing mentality at the moment.
Definitely. But
hopefully that changes. You know what I mean? It needs to change soon. Otherwise, I'm not being funny. We're going to League One. Right, let's just be real. If this continues, well, we have to be honest, guys. So, yeah, it's not looking good. But yeah, as for me on that Rob Edwards question, I mean, yeah, it's got to be soon, innit? If results don't go away, I do feel if we win tomorrow, it is papering over cracks. I'll be honest. Like the Sheffield Wednesday game, for example. We've got Leeds after that. Like Dad says, we can't really expect anything, but we need to perform. We can't just get rolled over. If we get rolled over in them games, then, he's gone for me. But I don't think we'll sack him, and I've said it. Anytime anyone asks me, I don't think we'll sack him. I think what will happen is he won't be able to handle it. We'll get a few bad results and he won't be able to handle it, and he'll end up walking and it'll be a mutual agreement or something like that. That's what I think will happen personally when it comes to that. So we shall see. Obviously, like I've said, guys, I want him to succeed. He's a nice guy. The stuff he's had to deal with since he come to the football club, the Lockyer situation twice. Man manager, brilliant. Tactics, in-game management is not great. Especially at this moment in time. Can that change? I don't think so personally, but hopefully I'm proven wrong. But I can't see it, guys, if I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, man, that is that on the Hat Show. So, yeah, any final things you want to say, Dad?
And that's it. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Wrap up warm. It's meant to be wet and windy.
Welcome to England, guys.
To Luton.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I say, I will be at the game, guys. We'll be sitting round about where I sat for the Sheffield Wednesday game. A couple of seats away, I think, pretty much all rows. So yeah, I'll be there. So I'll be doing a vlog and fan cams after the game as well. So if you are going to the game, obviously do come over. Obviously, we have fan cams from the regulars, which obviously David and Mike. So yeah, man, that'll be good. It'll be good to be back there. I don't think I'll be at the Leeds game, but I will be at the Norwich game. So yeah, we will be at the Norwich game, Dad. So that'll be good to experience another away day. Hopefully we get a result though, because every away day I've done this year we've lost. So that's just not good. But yeah, one positive is the only game I've witnessed a win with Luton was that Sheffield Wednesday game. So, you know, and I was in that new stand. So yeah, hopefully that continues. But we shall see. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel as well. Again, I know people watch this back on playbacks. So obviously, do smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. A few new subscribers. We're now currently on 2,130. So big up to yourselves for that. And yeah, man, obviously it's been 11 days since I've uploaded on the channel, which for me is a very long time. So good to be back. And yeah, there'll be stuff out in the next 2 days. So check all of that out. And the Watford game is kicked off 4 minutes ago. So hopefully they lose. Hopefully they get humbled like we did when we went to Plymouth, even though we were terrible, but they were good going forward. Hopefully the same thing happens. I'm going to stick it on and hope they lose. If they score, I'll turn it off. But anyway, until then, take care. Peace. Hopefully we get a result tomorrow. Come on, you guys.